Welcome to Snake Cinema Reviews. I'm your host, Prince Elias. This is Coils again, and today we are reviewing Cutthroat City, a 2020 film directed by the RZA. If you know the RZA, the rapper, producer, I believe Wu-Tang Clan legend member. But yeah, this is a typical hood type film, you know, like the boys in the hood, you know, the coming of age and stuff like that. If you're used to those films, you like those films, this is a 2020 version of it. Now it's based around the time Katrina happened in New Orleans. Like the beginning of the film start off with, you know, before the storm hit, and then the rest of the film takes place after the storm hit. And basically it's just about four friends who going through trials and tribulations, trying to feed their family, trying to care for themselves, trying to follow their dreams, and trying to, you know, survive in Cutthroat City, trying to survive New Orleans after, you know, the government and everybody like neglected the city, neglected the people who live there. You know, once the storm hit, you know, the rich people start taking over certain areas and gentrifying it and trying to push all the poor people out. And you know how the story goes. And the poor people just struggling, trying to make it. So, but it's about these four friends who are just trying to make it, trying to care for their family, trying to survive the hood, Cutthroat City. But they kind of get caught up in some drug dealing shit. They kind of got caught up in some robbery shit, you know, with gang members. And the biggest villain is played by T.I., the rapper. And I think he did pretty good in this role as the villain, as the big bad. But then there's another big bad in the film, which I'm not going to spoil because it is kind of like a cameo, kind of like a surprise, that because you don't meet this character to the very end. They like hype him up by saying his name a bunch of times, saying, oh, you don't want to mess with that guy, you don't want to get caught up with that guy, and then when he pops up, you're like, oh shit. But it's a great cameo, and I can't wait for you guys to watch that. Also, Ethan Hawke is in it. That's not a surprise, that's not the twist, but he does a great job playing the corrupt former cop slash government mayor, senator, or whatever, but going after all the drug dealers and gang bangers and stuff. But this is, you know, like I said, it's your typical type street film, hood film, hip-hop film, coming of age film, in the ghettos and struggling, but very entertaining. The acting was amazing. The actors all did a great job. Shameik Moore, Cat Graham, a bunch of other people. What I will say is that they do use a couple of New Orleans slang and cadences and, you know, quotes and stuff that you only hear New Orleans people say. But I love about this film is that they don't go heavy with the accents. They don't force it. A lot of the characters don't even use the New Orleans accent at all, which is good. They don't force it. They don't make it a caricature, you know, like don't get me wrong, I love Hustle and Flow. That's one of my favorite type films of this type of genre, not just because it's based in my city, Memphis, Tennessee, but it's just a good film and I just love it. It's wonderfully made. But they did kind of go too hard on the Memphis accent. Not everybody say mine. Not everybody say mine. Now I do, but I know some people who were born and raised in Memphis and lived in Memphis their whole life and don't talk like the way they talk in Hustle and Flow. And so you get a lot of films where, you know, the accents are kind of characters and too put on too strong, too heavy. And I like that this film, the actors did not do that. Like I said, they did say some slang, they did say some cadences, and you know, there's certain words with a little twang in it that you be like, oh, okay, only New Orleans people would say that. But they didn't force the accents, which I appreciate, because not everybody from New Orleans talk like that. And even those who do talk like that, they don't sound as ignorant as Hollywood likes to make it seem. In my opinion, the New Orleans accent isn't ignorant at all. I like the culture. I like their accents. I like how they talk. But you know how Hollywood gets with accents, especially black accents. Like, it's not that hard, you guys. So I appreciate them for not going that route when it comes to accents and people talking. The story is very good. It kept me engaged. It kept me at the edge of my seat, wondering how this is going to end. Is it going to end like most films where everybody dies? Will anybody survive? Is anybody going to jail? You know, will the bad guys win? You know, I like that the ending is very ambiguous. It kind of has two endings in my opinion. Where you really don't know how it really ended. You don't know if it was a hallucination, a dream, or whatever. But, you know, it's open to interpretation. And I believe RZA in an interview said he did that on purpose. So, if you wanted to be a happy ending, great. If you wanted to be a doom and gloom, also great. It's just how you feel and how you interpret it. But either way, the film was a great watch. I thoroughly enjoy it. I believe it's on Netflix now. When it first came out last year, it was VOD, so you had to pay for it, but now it's on Netflix. And I just love it. I like it. Very entertaining. It kind of takes me back to the old school Menace to Society and The Boys in the Hood, and you know, those films like that I grew up with back in the 90s and early 2000s. So it kind of take me back to that. You know, it's very nostalgic for me. But it tells a good story, and I'm glad that they tackle some topics about how the people of New Orleans had to go through, because sometimes especially now in 2021, you know, people kind of forgot that Katrina happened and that the effects of Katrina is still going on in parts of New Orleans. People go to New Orleans and only go to Bourbon Street and the rest of the big tourist attractions that are now being gentrified as fuck. But they don't think about the, you know, the Ninth Ward and all those other places where these communities are still suffering and going through a lot and still trying to make ends meet, still trying to rebuild homes. And you know, that hurricane really did some damage, but the government, FEMA, all them folks did not make it even better. They actually made the situation worse instead of helping the people. So I'm glad that this film tackled those topics. It wasn't too heavy in my opinion, but it didn't sugarcoat it either. It kept it real. And so, yeah, I want to know what you guys think. I highly recommend it. I would give this a 8.5 out of 10 score on ranking. I really think it's on Netflix, so you don't have to pay extra for it. So go stream it, watch it, tell me what you think. If you've already seen it, what did you like it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Comment below. I would love to know y'all opinions. But anyways, that's it for today. I am Prince Elias. This is Coils. We are Snake Cinema Reviews, and we'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.